Hey guys, it's Allison here. I've got another spread in my December daily album for you guys to look at. And I've actually got 4 days worth of December daily to share with you today. So this is my December 12th and December 13th spread. I've got the back side of that page protector with two 4x4 pockets and one 2x8 pocket. And then I have a full page 6x8 on the other side. So I decided to start with that, even though it's not chronologically accurate, I guess you could say. I decided to start with that side, and I grabbed a piece of white cardstock from my stash and cut it down to fit the page protector. And then I was about to mount the 4x6 card that I had pulled out and the 4x6 photo on it, and I realized that once I mounted the little 3x4 photo of our elf on the shelf, it would cover the circle that had the saying that I wanted. You know, that was the reason I picked that card, was because I liked the saying on it. I can't remember what it says right now, but so I cut it out with my Big Shot, and then I decided that I liked the circle theme, the circle idea, so I would go ahead and cut out the number and then the other little square from the Doodlebug cut apart sheet into circles as well. So now I have them all cut out and I'm trying to figure out where to place them. I put some dimensional adhesive, some foam squares on the back of that circle that I cut out of the 4x6 card, intending to place it right back where it was. And for the longest time, it does sit there. Eventually, it goes into a different home. But for now, that's where I was putting it. And so I wanted to bring the red through, and I picked out that that gorgeous striped. It's like red and pink and white and all sorts of colors in that family. And I cut a little strip to go underneath my number on the left hand side, and decided that it would be good on the right as well in that 2x8 pocket, so I cut a bigger strip of that. And then I decide that since I've cut the other number and decorative square into circles, I would go ahead and do that on the for the 12 page as well. Now I'm looking for papers to go into those 4x4 squares. And I pull one 4x6 journaling card, and because I liked the red and the pink together, I thought that echoed what was happening over on the far side. It's a card about, I think, greeting cards that you've received or something, and I wasn't that fussed about that, so I do end up covering most of that, but I leave a little bit of the red and pink showing. And then there was another card that had the pink sort of logs that are on that 4x6, just a little piece of it. So I cut that out, and I decided to use the lines as a journaling card, and then mount that next to the photo onto just a piece that has a bunch of craft, because I have a lot of craft sort of wood grain going on as well. So now I'm trying to figure out my placement for everything. And I trimmed down that number 12. I decided the larger size was a circle that I had cut originally was just too big for my 4x4 squares. It was sort of taking over everything. And now I'm trying to figure out how to pull all the different colors together and what is going to go on that 2x8 strip of stripy paper. I was thinking that the journaling box would go there, and that's why it's sitting there right now while I'm wasting time by trimming off my label tags. It's basically I'm wasting time trying to think of what exactly I'm going to do. So I've pulled dark green and pink label tags. The dark green because the number 12, or maybe it's a 13, one of them anyways, has a dark green outline. And also the photo on the bottom left is from my daughter. It's not from her basketball game, but she was a scorekeeper for the boys basketball game right before her game, and their colors are dark green. So it was appropriate for the story, as well as all the other colors going on in the layout. And the pink just brings the pink from that beautiful log print. So now I am trying to decide what to do with that circle bit. And I end up cutting a larger circle out of dark red paper to back behind my number so that I don't have to worry about placing that number exactly in the circle. I was a little concerned that I would have the sort of the gap, the empty circle showing through in the end. So I decided to give it a bit of a frame. But I didn't need the full circle, so I did cut off a little bit of it, and I have that over on the left, sort of underneath my scissors right now. And now I'm just figuring out where everything else is going to go. And I put everything down and then ripped everything back up again to put that journaling card underneath the photo. So I've still got the pink and I've still got the red showing, but I've covered up all the words about cards that you've received or whatever it was that card was supposed to be. And then I start thinking, what am I going to do in that big strip? I can't just leave it blank. So I'm auditioning different things. And I thought I need more green. So I pulled a strip of that green paper with the trees and quickly realized that, nope, that looks really bad. I don't want that at all. And I'm stumped. So I move on to something else, fill in my journaling while I'm still thinking about it. And as I'm writing and as I'm gluing down all these circles, it sort of comes to me, I have got this circle theme going. I should embrace it. So that is what I do. I embrace the circles and kind of go wild with the circles. Because I find that cut off circle and I think, hey, yeah, let's do that. So I grab 3 different sizes of circle dies and some of my scraps and I go wild cutting circles. And I definitely cut more than I could use on this layout, and that's fine. They're in my bucket now with all the other papers and things that I've been using in this book, so I can pull them out and use them on future spreads. It's also a great way to use up scraps. Just cut some circles, and they don't even have to be perfect because you can put them off the edge, and nobody will ever know. Okay, so I've got quite a pile up there in the top left, and now I decide to just play and have fun. I have no plan whatsoever beyond not having 2 of the same pattern next to each other. So I just start sticking them down. And since each page has one of the circles popped up with foam squares, I decided to pop up that little embellishment. It says joy. And then that's it. I figure I'm done. I don't want to completely cover that gorgeous striped paper because I do want it to show, because I have it on show on the left hand or the right hand side. So I finished the last little bit of journaling, and then it's time to embellish. And oh no, sorry, I have a lot more journaling to say. That's right, I forgot I had a lot to say on this day. That log print is super pretty, and I don't think having all the journaling over it diminishes it at all. But it's the great kind of print that it's faded enough that you can write right over top, and it's perfectly legible. So now I start bringing in some of the elements from my other pages. I start with a paper clip. And I think the next thing I bring out is the gold numbered circles. Oh, no, I decided to add a title. I'm not putting titles on every page, but for some reason I decided that this one could use the title of Sing. That is a photo of my daughter's choir. They call it the junior choir, so it's like grade 6 and 7, singing at an old folks' home. So yeah, I just put the title over top of the backs of people's heads, but I'm not worried about that. I don't know who they are. They're just random old people in the audience. And I've got a few word strips that I'm adding there, and some of my map stars to bring that blue across. So I think the number 13 has got the green around it, and the number 12 has a little bit of blue. So that's why I'm trying to bring blue throughout as well. So it's not quite sort of on its own and standing out. And then I go crazy with some red enamel dots. I've already got circles, so why not? And that is day 12 and 13. So moving on, I flip it over, and on the back, I didn't want to repeat and have more white cardstock. And I only had this one small photo from the day. So I went looking through my stash for something that I could write a ton on, because I kind of wanted to talk about the fact that I only have this one photo from the day. There were other photos taken that day, but they're not going to feature in my journal because they were photos from our bathroom renovation and, you know, stupid things like that. So I went looking through my stash and I found this. It's actually a divider page, a Simple Stories divider page, and I just cut off the ring binder part of it. And then I liked the sentiment on the bottom. I also liked that it was cream and not white. And so I just created this little photo number cluster right above the printed image, and then knew that I could do all my journaling on top of that. However, I made a couple of mistakes, and it got to this point where I had made a couple and it was looking a little bit messy, and I was a little bit unhappy with it. And I contemplated placing that other journaling card over top of all this and writing it all again. And then I realized that the coloring was all wrong and I would lose the effect that I had purposefully picked this card for. So I just went on, and I thought, it is what it is. This is real life. This is how I write. I'm messy. I'm fast. I make mistakes. So I just kept going with it. And then the other page protector has 2 4x4 pockets and 4 2x2 pockets. So I had already cut a couple pieces of pattern paper to fit, and I wanted to bring the blue across to the right hand side because the number 14 is backed with blue. So that's why I have that blue square. And do you remember the green paper with the darker green trees that I had auditioned for day 12? I cut out a couple of those trees and I popped one of them up, and the other one is flat against the blue. And that's my little bit of decoration. And I'm not doing a heck of a lot. You know, I've got a couple label stickers. But once again, wasn't a ton happening this day. You must think I lead a really boring life, and I mean, maybe I do. It's a mom life. I'm ferrying kids all over the place. So even in the middle of December, we're still ferrying kids to basketball, soccer, dance, all the rest of it. So I'm just trying to find things that will embellish this. So I've added a couple of those word strips, and the photo that looks like it's a photo of a window, which it kind of is, but it's basically I cleared space for our Christmas tree and sent the photo to my husband to say, hey, look, it's ready for a Christmas tree, time to go get it. And so the label sticker at the bottom just says something like getting ready for the, and then I put the Christmas tree puffy sticker there. And then I just put one more little puffy sticker on that blue square, just so that one lone puffy sticker isn't all by itself. And And then, oh yeah, and then I found this strip of blue gems. They're Bo Bunny. They were in my stash. And I decided that would be a really good way to bring the blue throughout the layout. So I'm just putting little strips on various sheets. And I think that is the last thing I add to this, this spread. Just a little strip up there, and we call it done. So there we go. Those are the next 4 days. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.